All right, guys, welcome to the 10-minute pop-up. I'm your host, Jason, where we spotlight and highlight entrepreneurs and small business owners. Today, I have the pleasure of sitting down with Mr. Brian, who is the owner and founder of the VITAM drink. Now, I met Brian at Goody Goody here in Little Elm, and he has such great energy. And he had an amazing product that I had to try when I saw him. So I walked over to him, tried the product, and little did I know he was the founder of the drink and told him that I want him on the show. So, Brian, take it away. Tell us who you are, what you do, how'd you even get started with Vitam?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on the show. My name is Brian Hart. I'm the founder of Vitamin, a THC beverage that has vitamins and minerals. I have a background in cannabis, so I've been in the industry for over 7 years, growing and selling cannabis, consulting on cannabis. I wrote my master's thesis using a neoclassical economics model to explain an industrial analysis on cannabis. So I have a big history in cannabis, which led me to making Vitamin right here.
When someone picks up a can of Vitam, what are they really getting? Like explain their experience of what they're going through, like, and they go, "Whoa, I gotta pick up Vitam." And what are they really getting? What experience are you giving them?
Yeah, so I mean, this is a cannabis beverage. So if somebody drinks it, they're gonna get high. It's a regular cannabis beverage. Well, I wouldn't say regular. I think there is, of course, some special things about it. But I care about the quality ingredients. I care about the nutritional aspects. I don't use high fructose corn syrup. I use monk fruit as a natural sweetener, real orange and lemon juice, real passion fruit juice for my two flavors, and my thought process behind it is, the average American diet, we're very deficient in most of our vitamins and minerals, especially calcium and magnesium, those minerals. Why not make a beverage where if somebody drinks it, they feel good and they also get some nutrition? That's the mindset of the thought behind it.
What is the
Sure.
experience for Vitam the next day?
Yeah, so unless somebody has way much more or too much than they should,
Mhm.
you'll be feeling fine. Like, say, for example, somebody that's a beginner and they have too much, they're going to be a little groggy, but that's nothing, some coffee won't fix. But the average experience for somebody that consumes Vitamin is, well, they'll just wake up the next day, like any other day if you're not drinking alcohol. I mean, some people actually, some people do tell me they get very good rest, they sleep very well, so they feel better the next day. But this isn't something where like alcohol, where you have a traditional hangover. Again, unless you just drink way too much and then you're groggy, you're good to go.
Yeah. All right. If someone were to try your beverage, Vitam, you have passion fruit and the orange lemon, am I correct?
Yep, that's right.
So which flavor hooks them instantly?
Ooh, wow. I mean, it depends on the person's palate. So I'd say the passion fruit. This is my
Yes.
second flavor that I recently launched, and it really says something to the business because it my business is growing. I was able to do another flavor, so I'm proud of it. I love this thing. I don't know if we should leave that in the video.
You need to keep that
Uh,
up there. Hold the passion fruit one
yeah,
up the entire time.
yeah. So I'm really proud of passion fruit. So with passion fruit, this is going to be more smooth and subtle. For people who don't want something as strong as a flavor, it depends on the individual. Some people like strong flavors. Passion fruit's more smooth. It's not as strongly carbonated. So, for example, people who have more acid reflux, this is a better drink to consume just again because the carbonation isn't as strong. My girlfriend, for example, she has some acid reflux. She loves drinking these. Um, the orange lemon, on the other hand, this is more sweet and citrusy. So, a lot of people, and I have to be honest, I still think the orange lemon is the fan favorite just because when people drink the orange lemon, I just see more of that, oh, it's so sweet and citrusy response. So, I think this is for people who like something that's a little bit sweeter. Of course, both have the same effect, but I think for a lot of people, the go-to is the orange lemon. And a pro tip, orange lemon over a scoop of vanilla ice cream, you pour it over. People love the taste. So, yeah.
Like that. Is it more so like just a more relaxing drink, or is it something you will see more at events and parties?
Well, so it's all about dosage, really. So both.
Mhm.
Like if you're going to be drinking, it depends on somebody's tolerance, but say somebody they consume cannabis once or twice a month,
Yeah.
you know, half a can of Vitam, that'll do the job for them. So if they're at a party, they can have like half a can, they can sip on it and enjoy themselves and they're maintaining, they're feeling good. Now, if they have like a whole can, that might be a lot. But, if somebody just really wants to, say, I just want to sit down and do nothing and and just relax, then a whole can of Vitamin will do it for them. So it's really about the dosage. Like imagine if you were drinking, a spirit, an alcoholic spirit. You can say, okay, I'm gonna have one or two shots. I'll loosen up. I can have a good time at the party compared to, oh, I'm gonna have, eight or nine, and then they're done for the day. Fortunately, with Vitam, with cannabis, no one's died from having too much THC. They might have had a bad experience. They might have slept a lot, but no one's ever died from too much THC. So.
Has been the most challenging part? Because I know there are so many things like going like regulations and everything going through like the cannabis industry. So I know you face some challenges that most people probably don't even know you face. So what are some that you face?
Well, of course, as an entrepreneur, there's always the common challenges an entrepreneur faces.
It sure is.
Whether it's, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's whether it's starting your business, making sure that you can make money with it, because you really don't know until you do it. You can suspect, but you don't know until you do it. Having family that wasn't very supportive. There's a few things. Standard entrepreneur. What makes my business a little bit more unique, it's a new industry, and that means governmental regulation. Um, you know, Last year, around summertime, the state of Texas was trying to make THC products illegal. And it wasn't until literally the hour before midnight that the ban would gone into effect that Governor Abbott vetoed the ban bill. So, he saved the industry. I mean, I literally was an hour away from losing my business. So I think one of the more unique things is, this is a industry that's new and there's regulations that are constantly forming. Sometimes there's regulations where people don't want it at all. So that makes it a little bit more challenging when you're trying to think about growing for the future, but you have this thing over your head like, oh, my business might be illegal by the state. So I'd say that's the unique challenge.
That would drive me insane. Like, like one day you wake up and you like, oh, I'm thriving. I got this great business. The next hour you sweating bullets. Like, am I going to have my business?
Man, I was not sleeping well. I mean, for a couple of months to the run up of that, I was not sleeping well. Like my girlfriend found all these white hairs and grays, and I'm like, oh my god, like
You have to chug like a case of your drinks of Vita.
well, yeah, I mean, I did have a couple. It did kind of help, but
Where can anyone find the Vitam drink? What locations can
yeah,
they find it at? Are you distributing worldwide, not worldwide, but nationwide? Where are you located? How can people find you?
great question. So, I guess you could say I'm the quintessential small business. I focus my operations in the DFW area. I do have a couple locations where people can buy it in Houston and Longview, but the DFW area is my main focus. Anybody can purchase Vitam at a Goody Goody liquor store, for example, at the liquor chain Goody Goody. They're a great organization. I mean, it's very much still a mom and pop feel. They've just really grown their business. I'm in all the Liquor Kings as well. I'm in multiple independent liquor stores. Also, if people wanted to purchase online, they can go to thevitam.com and you can purchase Vitam and I can ship it to people throughout the state of Texas and nationwide as well, I would say. But again, Texas is my focus of operations.
Oh,
Oh, it's my social media handle is Vitam Community. So yeah, and again, that's another vision I have is I want people to also be communal when they're drinking Vitam. Have a community. It doesn't have to be centered around Vitam. I'm not saying that, but if people are getting together and they want to have a drink, along with the option of alcohol, why not have Vitam? Just I want people to get together and socialize and have fun. My life philosophy. I do feel that if more people consume cannabis, if we shifted the ratio of alcohol to cannabis, we wouldn't have as much violence in society. We would hopefully have more self-awareness because cannabis can make some people, think more about their lives, who they are, and be more self-aware. And I genuinely believe if you shift those ratios, we'll have a net positive in society. So I genuinely feel like not only am I building a business or I hope to, be financially successful and, really at that level, but also I'm making an impact on society that has a net positive. So I feel really aligned with what I'm doing. It's very fulfilling.
Love that. All right, Brian, it has been a pleasure speaking with you today. Wish you much continued success. I see this brand like taking off and doing astronomical numbers for you. I know it will because we're having a whole shift now. But I want to thank you for, coming on and providing us an experience of the Vitam drink.
Absolutely, Jason. I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.
All right, you're welcome. Have a great day.
Hey, you as well, Jason.
All right. Want your business featured on the 10-minute pop-up? Head to www.the10minutepopup.com and apply today.